Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So, got some OTA leaked news about the changes coming in the OTA patch dropping tomorrow. If you haven't already heard, tomorrow is kind of a weird day in that we're getting a regular full patch update as well as an OTA update. Usually these happen on different days, but I think the patch got pushed forward, so we are getting a patch and OTA, and I think that's the reason this stuff has leaked out. I'm not exactly sure of the specifics, but this does seem to be pretty credible information, and it's one of those things where I think the information was viewable by data miners because of the fact that it is included with the patch, and that goes up sooner than when they manually deploy the OTA, or something like that. Anyways, as with all leaks, you could take it with a grain of salt, but I have good reason to believe this is going to be legit. So let's talk about the changes coming to the game tomorrow. Jennifer Kale going to a 2-3, bigger, better Psylocke. Not super surprising here. Jennifer Kale has not seen a whole lot of play. I actually don't think the card's that bad, but it has a very specific niche, and it's a card you want to play early to accelerate a 5-drop or a 6-drop out a turn earlier most of the time. Personally, I've used that with Infinity Ultron to a good bit of success. But yeah, the 2-2 stat line was a little underwhelming, so not surprised to see her get a ding up to a 2-3. I don't think it's going to make the card like super crazy or anything, but definitely a more playable card, which is nice to see for something that wasn't seeing a lot of play. Bullseye getting a knockdown to a 3-2. A little surprised by this, but I don't know. It feels like they're just trying to cut a little bit of the power off of discard when they're not doing their full combo stuff. And when they are doing their full combo stuff, the 1 point less on Bullseye is probably not going to make a big difference. So this seems like the kind of thing where they're just trying to ever so slightly weaken the power when you're not getting the full nut draw, and that seems fine to me. I don't think it's going to be relevant in a whole lot of situations. Maybe now he's a little bit more of a Red Guardian target, but Red Guardian now being a 3-2 is a lot less prevalent than he used to be as well. So I don't think this one will change things too much for the discard enjoyers. Marvel Boy is getting his point of power back to a 3-2. Really like this change. I always felt that the Marvel Boy nerf was pretty unjustified. It didn't seem that great at the time, and I feel like he got hit as a result of some of the other powerful cards, namely Mockingbird, that were being used alongside him back then. So it's nice to see him return to his original stats, as Zoo probably could use a little bit of help, and that's one good way of doing it. Green Goblin going to a 3-4. Yeah, I mean, Green Goblin's been around for forever, and the power numbers have crept up a little bit, so not surprised to see this one get an additional point of negative power here to try and keep up with the game a little bit more. Most of the time, the power on the Goblin is not the relevant part. It's usually trying to clog up your opponent's lane, so I don't think this will be a massive change to the card, but it's certainly a card I do not mind seeing getting a small buff. Mirage is becoming a 2-3, and she is going to be copying characters, not spells. This seems just like an all-around buff, giving Mirage a better stat line, and making it so you can't have a low roll opportunity, because I think the vast majority of the spells in this game are not great, if not just totally useless. I guess there's some good Agamotto ones you could copy potentially, but there are also some bad Agamotto ones, and the other non-Agamotto ones just don't seem very good at all. So this seems like a net positive for Mirage, in addition to her getting an additional point. Then we have Doom 2099. Doom has seen better days, that's for sure. He's been nerfed twice, and that second nerf was really the nail in the coffin for him, and haven't really seen much of him since then. However, with the addition of Fantasticar and the upcoming new Invisible Woman, the card is getting some more support, and it seems they want to give him even more support via this OTA, so they're buffing him up from a 4-3 to a 4-4. Personally, I would have rather the last change reverted. I think the first nerf to Doom was super justified. I think the second nerf was significantly less justified, making the bots go from 1 power to 0. Was a pretty big hit on that card, but with the new support coming to it, maybe this new version will be okay. Only time will tell, but I'd rather them do anything to help make Doom 2099 a bit less unplayable rather than do nothing, so we'll take those. Negasonic Teenage Warhead getting a buff where the destroy effect is no longer going to be procced by a spell, So if you didn't know this interaction, you could play a spell on the Negasonic lane and it would eat up the Negasonic charge. There's some locations that act like that too. I think it's a little unintuitive, and it definitely made the card a bit worse when spell decks were popular in the meta, which they kind of have been ever since the addition of Merlin. So it's nice to see a change that is going to make this card a bit less vulnerable to those types of strategies. Then here's the big one, the Thing. The Thing is becoming a 4/7, baby. The vanilla stat line is finally being crept up the curve. Yeah, I don't expect this to do much of anything other than maybe you consider it in some fringe high evo decks now or something. I don't know. But I do like to see them adjust the vanilla curve a little bit because it feels like some of those stat lines have been pretty woefully outdated. I wouldn't mind them buffing up Shocker potentially too, or maybe taking a look at Shocker's high evo effect because he was always one of the high evo cards left out in the cold. But yeah, definitely don't mind seeing this, though I can't imagine it's going to have a huge impact on gameplay. And the last nerf of the bunch, Zabu going down to a 1/1. This seems fair. Zabu has been one of the best 1-drops. It is just pretty premium stats for a 1-drop, being a 1/2, and it has one of the strongest effects of 1-drops because it is cheating mana. If Zabu ends up getting you one relevant cost reduction, it's essentially a 0/2, and it's kind of better than a 0/2, because it enables you to play, multiple 4-drops together, especially in tandem with Mr. Fantastic, giving you more cost reduction. Cost reduction is just really, really powerful on these higher cost cards. 4-cost cards are no exception to that, so not surprised to see Zabu take a bit of a ding here. I think he'll still be very relevant and good at his job in decks centered around 4 costs, but he's going to pay a bit more of a price in order to do that in giving you a bit less power. So, overall thoughts? I think this is a fine OTA. I like that they're trying to bring up some cards that are a bit more niche and underplayed, and I like that the nerfs were few and pretty light. It's a pretty diverse metagame. There is a lot of Surfer right now, but we did just get, a bunch of Surfer cards back to back, so it's unsurprising, but still, generally speaking, I don't think there's one deck that seems to be dominating everything out there, so not surprised to see a more buff-focused OTA compared to a nerf-focused one. But that's not the only thing we have to talk about today. Marvel Snap is doing another Discord quest, so if you don't know, they did one of these before in the past, and now they're doing it again. I believe this is a mobile only. I'll try and put the link in the description, but all you have to do is open up Discord on your mobile device, click the link, and then it'll bring you to the quest section of Discord where you can accept the quest. Quest is very simple. You watch, I think, like a 30-second little animated video about the Thing in Marvel Snap, and once it's done, it will provide you with a code. Just take that code on over to the web shop, and it'll give you access to a random mystery border, as well as a premium mystery variant. Not sure how long that'll be running for, so grab it while you can. Free stuff's always good, so don't forget about it. That's going to wrap it up for this video, though. Let me know what you think about all the OTA stuff in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.